Chapter 39. Charles and Andrew have went upstairs to play video games. Kyle and his crew are reading the Sir Arthur Conan Doyle Sherlock Holmes books that were left to them, possibly as a clue. And Haley has found yet another clue that has made her think that part of the way to escape has something to do with the way bandits crawled into the library many years ago when it was a bank. So that's where we left off on chapter 38. Chapter 39. Everyone in the reading room was quietly lost in the adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Kyle had just finished a pretty cool story called A Scandal in Bohemia about a king who was going to get married to a royal heiress with maybe 6 names. But the king was being blackmailed by an old girlfriend, an opera singer from New Jersey named Irene Adler. Something Sherlock Holmes said to Dr. Watson early in the story really stuck with Kyle. You see, but you do not observe. Kyle figured that was why Mr. Lemoncello wanted them to all take a break from chasing clues and read these classic mysteries. Not to find new clues, but to become better puzzle solvers. Had they been seeing things without really observing them? Probably. Reading the story was also kind of fun. Kyle could totally see Holmes's apartment at 221B Baker Street and the snooty king in the horse-drawn carriages on the foggy London streets, and the disguises Holmes wore, and the smoky bomb Dr. Watson tossed through a window, and everybody on the street screaming, "Fire!" It was like he was watching a 3D IMAX movie in his head. Kyle couldn't wait to start the second story in the book, The Adventures of the Red-Headed League. "How's it going?" whispered Akemi. "This book is pretty cool. This Sir Arthur Conan Doyle guy knows how to keep his readers hooked." "His characters leap off the pages," said Sierra. "Yeah," said Miguel. "I dig the consulting detective." "Huh?" said Kyle. "That's what Holmes calls himself sometimes." "Oh, I've only read one story so far, and..." Suddenly, something seemed odd to Kyle. "Hey, how come Conan Doyle isn't one of those statues up there?" "What do you mean?" said Akemi. "He's a famous author, right? How come they're projecting a statue of a modern writer like Pseudonymous Bosch, but not the author who created a classic like Sherlock Holmes?" "Good question, bro," said Miguel. "I need to consult with my brother Curtis." "How come?" "Curtis has read more books than anyone I know, except maybe Sierra. He scored an 808 on his SAT subject test in literature." Kyle," said Akemi, "I think the top score for any SAT test is 800. "Yep, then Curtis took it. They had to raise it." "So maybe he can help us figure out what's up with all the statues," said Miguel. "Exactly. Why these 10? Why not 10 other writers? Why not the same 10 Bridget Wadge had for her extreme challenge?" added Sierra. Kyle looked around the room. "Miss Tobin? Hello, Miss Tobin." The hazy holographic image of the 1960s librarian flickered into view. "How may I help you, Kyle?" "I'd like to talk to an expert." "And whom do you wish to speak to?" "Mr. Curtis Keeley." "Your brother?" "And an SAT certified expert on the subject of literature and authors and other literary type junk." Suddenly the hologram vanished and Dr. Zinchenko's voice came over the ceiling speakers. "This is a rather irregular request, Mr. Keeley." "Hey," said Akemi, "this whole game is rather irregular, don't you think?" "We just need some more data," said Kyle. "Because, like Sherlock said to Watson, it is a capital mistake to theorize before one has data." "I take it you're enjoying your book," said the librarian. Kyle gave the closest security camera a big thumbs up. "Booyah! Can't wait to see what's up with that League of Red-Headed Gentlemen." "Ah, yes," said Dr. Zinchenko. "A fascinating story. I recently reread it myself. Very well, Kyle. We will contact your brother to determine if he does indeed qualify as a literary expert. It may take a while." "No rush," said Kyle. "I've got a good book." Kyle was busy helping Holmes figure out what the Red-Headed League was. That the Red-Headed League was just a clever ploy pulled by some robbers to get a red-haired pawnbroker to leave his shop long enough for them to dig a tunnel from his basement to the bank next door when the librarian's voice jolted him out of London and brought him home to Ohio. My apologies for the interruption. Akemi, Miguel, and Sierra closed their books too. It was 11:15. Everyone had sleepy, dreamy looks in their eyes because they'd been kind of drifting off in their comfy reading chairs. "What's up?" said Kyle. "We have arranged for your expert consultation with Mr. Curtis Keeley." "Awesome. How do we do it?" "You and your expert may have a 5-minute video chat on my computer terminal, which is located behind the main desk." Kyle hurried over to the round desk in the center of the room. His 3 teammates hurried right behind him. "Your consultation begins now." And there was Curtis, sitting at his computer in his bedroom. "Hey, Curtis." "Hi, Kyle. How's it going in there?" "Great." Kyle's oldest brother, Mike, popped into the doorway behind Curtis. "Kyle! Kyle!" Mike chanted. "Hoo-hoo!" Kyle had never had his own cheerleader before. "We need you to give us 110% in there, little brother." Mike squinted at the screen over Curtis's shoulders. "Who are those other guys?" "My teammates, Miguel, Sierra, and Akemi." "You guys are a team? Smart move. Even I can't win football games without help from 10 other guys." Mike," said Kyle, "Curtis and I only have 5 minutes to do a chat." "Cool. I'm out of here. Win, baby, win." Mike backpedaled out of the bedroom, making double fist pumps the whole way. "You have 4 minutes remaining," advised Dr. Zinchenko. "Okay, Curtis, here's my question. What do these authors have in common?" Kyle rattled off the list of the statues in order, and Curtis stared blankly into his computer cam for a real long time. Then he shook his head. "I'm sorry, Kyle. I have no earthly idea." End of chapter 39.